Hey guys, good evening. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. You're tuned in to IFYL, Inspirations for Your Life. I'm so happy that you've decided to pop in tonight. Whether you're here at 8:25 p.m. at night, 8:25 in the morning, 1 a.m., 1 p.m., 12 noon, 12 midnight, potato, patata, I'm very grateful that you're here. If you're new to IFYL, well, why not go to your phone and launch that wonderful camera app that I know you have? And once you pull up your camera app, what I want you to do is just point over on that QR code like so. And once you get that, touch the yellow ellipse and you'll get my link tree. If you're not watching us, but you are listening only like on an audio podcast, then go to believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. All right, guys, so let's get right into the show. This is a fun week. I think this is going to be a great one. Inspirations for Your Life, Unlocking Happiness. Series 2 means we're in the second year. Show 39, episode number 3, everyone. Yeah, that's a pretty cool one. So tonight, as we dive deep, we have to know that one of the most important things in unlocking happiness is in the relationships and social connections we choose to have, and also not have. The role of a meaningful relationship can bring priceless abundance. So, a quality relationship starts with somebody that is genuinely interested in you, such as we know Dale Carnegie has said the two most important things. One is to know the person's name, and the second, and say it properly, and the second is to become genuinely interested in that other person. So relationships can vary, whether they're platonic, non-platonic, right? Romantic, non-romantic. It's important to understand that a relationship is there to complement your life and happiness. It's not there to be a sole provider of your happiness. You might say, "Gee, I'm not happy tonight. I can't wait to be with my boyfriend, girlfriend, and that'll make me happy." Well, you should be happy before you already are with them. That should just add, icing to the cake. But if you're always looking for them to make you happy, then that's just not good. I'm not saying they can't make you happy. I'm just saying that you need to be the person that makes yourself happy. All right? And thinking about being happy, that means you need to live your life, a life of purpose, of meaning, not a life that someone else wants you to live. I'm very serious about that. You must live a life that you want to live. That's key. You want to live a life that you want to live. That's it. But a lot of people get stuck because they're like, oh, I want to do this with my boyfriend. I want to do this with my girlfriend. I want to make them happy. Okay, it's fine, but that doesn't mean you do it every freaking time, right? I think that's really where the problem comes in, is somebody wants to do it every time, and then suddenly you're not getting to live the life that you want to live. I've always said that if you live someone else's life all the time, you will be sorry and you will have regrets. You're a person and you have more than the right to live your life the way you want, as long as it doesn't impede, harm, or hurt, or defame another person. Right? That's the most important thing. But some people are afraid to live their own life. They're like, oh, I don't know if she's going to like that, if he's going to like that, I don't know if my such is going to like that, I don't know if my relative's going to like that. Your life is your life. Okay? You're not here 24/7 to be living someone else's life. I mean, that's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. That's really the truth. Now, somebody might say, oh, well, that person has to be that. No, they don't. That's someone who, quote unquote, is manipulating you. That's right, manipulating you. That's very, very important. So we have to think very seriously about building and maintaining positive connections with others. How do we do this? Well, we want to have sustainable, positive relationships in our personal and our professional life. Now, there might be people in your life that you've hung around with since you were a kid, and suddenly you're getting older, but they have changed. Maybe they're talking about their ex, or they have some type of an addiction, and they have a problem, and you want to help them with it or help them stay positive. And they're like, "Oh, I'm just life is miserable. I hate life. My ex, my this, my that." You're like, okay, you know what? When you want to hang out again, let me know. It sounds like today's probably not a good day for us to hang, since you're really kind of fixated on that. So why don't you reach out to me when you're feeling good, and we'll go from there. Okay, sounds cool. So 2 or 3 weeks, they reach out to you. Hey, John, listen, why don't we go hang out? Let's go bowling. So you go bowling, you bowl a few frames after you had a few burgers, and they're talking about their life again. How, they hate their job, they hate this, they hate that. And you're like, why don't we focus on the positive things? And they don't want to do that. So you're finishing up the game, you're like, look, you remember I told you the first time I really don't want to hang around somebody who's negative? Oh yeah. It's just this today. I said, okay, look, I really don't want to hang around with you if that's the kind of attitude you're going to have. So, you need to lose that. So don't call me again until you have a great attitude. So they call you back maybe a month later. Everything's great, and the same nonsense is starting all over again. Oh, you don't know what happened. My kid with my first wife, and my problem with this person, and then my addiction, and then I didn't get any money, and then my boss was after me, and all this other stuff, yada 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 yada. And you're like, oh gee, well that's terrible. Listen, well, why don't we think about all the great things we can be grateful for today, and let's start to think about what makes you happy. John, I can't think of anything that makes you happy. I just hate life. And so what you do when you get these situations, say, hey, look, I understand. And we had this conversation a couple times. So, look, I don't want to hang around with you anymore. What do you mean? I'm serious. I told you, until you lose that attitude, I don't want to hang around with you again. So this is going to be the last time we hang around for a while. Because I want to hang around with people that are positive. And it's obvious that you don't want to stay positive. You just want to focus on the negatives. And I only have room for positive people in my life. I don't have time for drama. And it sounds like all you want to do is be drama, and you don't even want to think about improving your life. You just want to complain about it. They're going to do one of two things. They're going to immediately change and reorient themselves, or they're going to be out of your life for good. You don't want to be around a negative person. Of course not. So, maintaining a good relationship means you need to nurture empathy and compassion for a happier and a more fulfilling life. This doesn't mean you feel sorry for them. It means that you're understanding. You're able to understand their feelings. There's a difference between having a connection of empathy and having a connection of, I feel sorry for you. So discovering how you can cultivate qualities that will enhance your life is important, right? Building a positive relationship, knowing that others want to be positive, and you only want to hang around those kind of people. So nurturing empathy and compassion for a happier life is the truth. Empathy. Empathy. If you're always around somebody and all they're doing is they're asking you for something. But I'll give you a perfect example. So I had a friend of mine a while back, and he was moving. He asked me if I could help him. I said, sure. Help him pack some boxes, and he was moving. And so I think it was maybe a month later, I need him to help me with something. He's a carpenter. I need him to help me put up a shelf or something. And he goes, oh, John, I'm really busy right now after the move. I'll get back to you. Okay, fine. So a couple weeks go by. He calls me up. He says, hey, John. He says, I was wondering if you could help me. I got to go down to Home Depot. I'm getting a new pool table, and I need somebody to help me, load it onto the truck. Would you help me? And so one part of me was like, yeah, sure, I'm going to help you. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to help him. Joe, yeah, so when can you help me? Yeah, I can't. Well, what do you mean? Well, Joe, I don't mean to be mean or anything, but every time, and this isn't the first time, you always ask me for help and I'm always there. I've asked you for help many times over the last few years, and I think you've been there like once or twice. And I've been there for like 10 times for you. So, frankly, I don't want to help you. Then that starts to get them to think, like, ooh, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Like, maybe I better change my ways. Maybe. What is it that causes somebody to wake up? Is it when you lose your friends? Is it when they stop supporting you? When is it? Do you appreciate the connection you have with other people? In other words, when you're with another person, do you understand and value the fact that having that connection with that person allows you to tap into parts of yourself that maybe you wouldn't tap into? Maybe this person's into, I don't know, let's say rappelling. Now, I'm into rappelling too, but let's say I wasn't. And now this person gets me to explore rappelling, indoor rappelling. And so now I'm really happy about that. And that's a great connection I have with that person. And they've helped me tap into a place in my mind and body that I didn't even know I could do. And they've motivated me to do it. And they've helped me. And I become a better version of myself. So I want to do the same thing with them. I want to help them become a better version of themselves. Maybe they never cooked. And I'm like, oh, gee, let me, let's bake something together. So I help them. So it's a give and take. Now, there was something you might recall by Stephen Covey. It was called the emotional bank account. And we all know that a typical bank account, we don't want it to go negative, right? Of course not. But an emotional bank account is when we don't want to go negative either, but it doesn't have money in it. It uses our emotions. So let's say I do something good for you. Okay, I do something nice for you. Well, what that does is that goes and puts a positive in my bank account and basically makes a debit in my bank account and a credit in yours. What should then happen is you should then do something nice for me, which would basically debit your bank account and credit mine, right? And if you keep doing this and there isn't the other side, like I'm doing all the good things and you don't do anything, like let's say I've done 10 things and you've only done one, well, that's going to cause your bank account to go negative. And that's a serious problem. Now, you might say, well, John, we don't, keep track of how many things. No, you don't need to keep track. But when you can tell that, I'm always helping you and you're never around, I think then that's a serious problem. That's when you know it's a serious problem and that you need to adapt. Because if you keep acting like this, other people are like, oh, I don't want to hang around with this person. I don't want to hang out with this person. It's because you're selfish. Now, I want to share something with you tonight. There is a time when you should be selfish. That's right. I'm going to say that again. There is a time in life when you should be selfish. And that is when you are doing something to protect your own well-being. Let's say you're with a group of friends. And this group of friends, let's say, is vaping or smoking. And you don't vape or smoke. And you value your life and your lungs. And so you don't hang around them. Or maybe you stop being their friend because hanging around them would potentially harm your health. Now, does that sound nasty? No. It's showing self-love for ourselves. Let's say somebody's always asking me for help, but they never help me. It's okay to be selfish in that situation. So when we're using selfishness to protect ourselves, okay, it's okay to be selfish. Because the person will either change their way or they're going to just move away from you. Now, I know that sounds kind of harsh, but it's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. It's the truth. Would you want someone, let's say if it was reversed, to be hanging around you when you were a bad influence to them? Let's say, for example, I don't know, I'm at my perfect exact weight, 165 pounds, and I eat what I'm always eating, but when I'm around you, you're always eating lots of extra cake, and I'm okay with that. But you keep teasing me that I should be eating more cake, and I only have one little piece. See, I'm going to be selfish and take care of myself because it's obvious that you're not. And you might be saying, John, this gets crazy. Yeah, you heard me. When you're doing something to protect yourself. So we need to have meaningful relationships. We can always pick our friends. We can't pick our family, right? We need to build maintaining positive connections with others. And we have to understand that it's not a once and done. We have to keep doing that. Kind of like we have to keep planting seeds and keep watering them and fertilizing them and letting them grow. We have to do the same thing in our relationships. Explore the connections, understand empathy. Don't become a person that gets reeled in like a fish because you feel bad for him. And, oh, he doesn't have the money, doesn't this. That's not going to be good for them or for you. Because if you do things that way, that goes back to the premise that I can teach you to fish and you'll eat for life, or I can give you fish and you'll eat for a day. That's not a good thing. You need to learn how to be self-sufficient. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, been a pleasure, been an honor to be with you this fantastic evening. I hope you'll like, love, support the channel. Definitely comment below, tag your friends, colleagues, and associates, share this out with everyone you know on social media. Of course, click on that link, help keep our content free. Make the choice. Buy my team and I a cup of coffee, a bowl of fruit, or a scrumptious bowl of desserts. Either way, we'll be grateful. Those pennies and dollars, we'll invest them into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping, motivational content to empower you to have an amazing life. All right, guys, check out BelieveMeAchieve.com. And if you haven't already, make sure you check out the article about the new iPhone 15 family specifications and features. You're definitely going to love that. All right, have a good night, everyone. And I'll see you guys, you know when? Yeah, real soon. Remember, everyone, relationships are something you should treasure. Relationships are priceless, and no money should be able to replace them. Have yourself a great night, everyone, and take care.